the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia. I didn't think I was going to talk about this again, but Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle gave their public statements after they came back in response to their criticisms of going there. And Dave Chappelle said, you know, I went there because there was stuff I couldn't say in America, but he could go to Saudi Arabia, sign a waiver that says can't talk about slavery, can't talk about Saudi royals, can't talk about Islam, probably can't talk about how they have a religion that worships demons, so they have shit trucks driving around 24/7 pumping out buildings because they're not allowed to have like indoor plumbing, or they're not allowed to shit in a building or whatever. So he had to sign all these waivers of stuff that he couldn't say. And it's not just things he couldn't say when he was in Saudi Arabia, it's stuff that he's not allowed to talk about now that he left Saudi Arabia, because you know that that's in there. So, and then when he did all those things, then he can go to Saudi Arabia and shit on America. And Dave Chappelle wants America to still respect him and like him. And they don't care. They took the dirty Saudi money. It's the same thing with Bill Burr. Hey, I'm Bill Burr. I'm Joe Lunchpail, which is a thing that's dying and going away, and it's never coming back. I'm a middle-class American working guy. I'm a Joe Average guy, and I'm a comedian for all the Americans. He knows that that's being phased out. So he's taking the money, because his persona, the guy that he pretends to be publicly, is being phased out. So that's a character for no one that will be unrelatable when it becomes like a mythic character. Oh, remember the average American working guy? No. And he knows that. He knows that what he is being phased out. So he's like, I'm gonna take the Saudi $1 million, and his wife's like, fuck it, who cares? Our country's falling apart, or something like this. But then when he comes back, Bill Burr not only, I still feel like what Dave Chappelle did is worse. He said, I can't talk about stuff in America that I can talk about in Saudi Arabia. So he took $1 million to go to Saudi Arabia and shit on America, because fuck America, because we're done. That's, of course you're gonna give him shit, but I feel like Bill Burr is being given more shit, and we'll talk about that now. I'll talk about it, you can listen. So Bill Burr criticized the people who criticized him for going. He's like, what are you talking about? I want to see the world, and look what's happening to us in America. We're becoming more like Saudi Arabia, so I went to Saudi Arabia on like a mission to Americanize them, which is bullshit. Is Bill Burr's character that he does even relatable to Saudis? I don't know. What's the Saudi Arabian sense of humor like? I mean, no, it's predicated upon Islam. So what's funny? Like falling down into a pile of poop? Is it the same thing as Indian comedy? I don't know. So what is Saudi comedy? What do they see Bill Burr as? How do they feel about Dave Chappelle? They're popular in America. So in America, they used to, before they had to sign a waiver, talk about whatever they wanted, or so we thought. Now they can't ever again. Because you thought this was over just because they left Saudi Arabia and the festival's over? No, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they agreed not to talk about, and the money that they took is at stake. There's a lot of comedians that aren't as rich as them that said no, and some of the comedians that said yes aren't millionaires, but they made, in the short time that festival ran, which was like a month or something, I'm not sure how long it was, on the weekends or whatever. So however long the Riyadh Comedy Festival lasted, the comedians that went there made more than a lot of people made in a year. You know, like, they made more for that comedy. If they can make $150,000, that's more than some people make in a year. But that's not out of character. But Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle had a phony bullshit characters that they wanted you to believe that they are. And now everybody knows that they're not those guys. Even though I have seen a video or two where people kind of said, oh, we don't care, we'll give Dave Chappelle a pass for going to Saudi Arabia. Why? Because he's Muslim? Is he really a Muslim? What about all that Aisha Muhammad, Muhammad 57, Aisha Nice? Dave Chappelle cool with that? Is he allowed to joke about that? Is he ever allowed to joke about that again because he went to Saudi Arabia? Is he going to go back? How much is he going to get for going back? These guys were already millionaires. They had millions of dollars. And then They went to Saudi Arabia, took the money that comes from slavery, 740,000 accounted for slaves in Saudi Arabia. So you know that there's more. And these are like, who are the bad guys? Who are some of the bad guys on the planet? It's Saudi royals. They're some of the richest people on the planet. They're so rich, they shoot barium rockets into the sky to make it rain in the desert so that they can have lawns, because a lawn won't grow in the desert where they live and where they rule. And they have slavery, and they execute people for freedom of speech, which we take for granted in America. But since that's being taken away from us in America, guys like Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr are real shitbags, because they know that it's being taken away, and they're like, fuck it, give me that Saudi money. And then they come back and they shit on their audience. Who's your audience now, assholes? They don't care anymore. They got the fucking money. They already have millions of dollars. Oh, this is an easy million for a Saudi comedy festival. And besides, they can see the trend of things. Ah, well, maybe we'll just say what Saudis say we can say, and not say what they can't say, what they tell us we can't say, because these guys are the up and comers. The middle class is being wiped out. Bill Burr doesn't have a character, and Dave Chappelle doesn't have a character. It's like basically the same thing for Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle. They have these American guy characters. Dave's the average American black guy character, and Bill Burr is the average American white guy character, and both of these things are being phased out for fucking sharia law globally or whatever, which is just socialism, communism, Marxism shit under the guise of their religion that was created and radicalized by Israel, which is Muslims and hijabs and sharia law and all that shit. So Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle really are shitbags, and we can feel it even if you don't know why you don't like them anymore. Well, I feel like I've seen a bunch of videos on it, and I haven't heard anybody say the same things that I'm saying. So I was like, I guess I have another video in me about the Riyadh Comedy Festival. But really, it's a video about Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle. Like I said before, Russell Peters may have more money than any of those guys, but it doesn't feel like out of character that he would go to Saudi Arabia. So who gives a shit? Yeah, probably he's getting some criticism online. So is Tom Segura, but Tom Segura was born rich with a silver spoon in his mouth. His audience knows that now, and he calls his audience the poors. He sold out a while ago, so him going to Riyadh isn't a surprise. It's not out of character, because Tom Segura is a fucking douchebag and an asshole. And I guess that's a type of American guy too. But he calls his audience the poors, still, probably. So I haven't liked any of these comedians for a while. But, it's just, why is Bill Burr being given such shit? Because we're realizing what his character really is. And it's a coward. And he criticized, and the same thing with Dave Chappelle. I say Dave Chappelle's even worse than Bill Burr, and Dave Chappelle's not being criticized nearly as much as Bill Burr's being taking all the heat, and Dave Chappelle's not taking as much heat as I feel that he should be, and that anyone would. I heard somebody give him a pass in one of the videos, like, Dave Chappelle won, but that who cares? Give him a pass. Why? No, fuck Dave Chappelle. I hated Dave Chappelle since he did the Oprah's dress thing, and then we saw him in Mel Brooks. And all the other shit where he's wearing, and he recently had to wear a dress because he's part of that club. I talked about this before. I said that already. So, yeah, I mean, it like kind of defines selling out. I mean, Kid Rock and Joe Rogan cracking open a Bud and opening the Joe Rogan Experience, saying, you know what, the CEO of Bud Light's not a bad guy. And Shane Gillis did the same thing. The three of those guys had their Bud Light money and they were open about it. So Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch or whatever, gave them millions of dollars, and they were open and transparent about it, and they bit the bullet and they admitted that they were sellouts and douches. What makes Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr shitty guys is that they made fucking excuses for it. I mean, Kid Rock, nobody cares who he is anyway. Kid Rock opens the beer, looks into the camera and says, you know what, the CEO of Bud Light's not a bad guy. And Joe Rogan toasts with him and they admit to you that they're assholes and they took the dirty money. But Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle criticized their audience for criticizing them. You know what I mean? You just should have shut up and cracked a bud and said Allah Akbar and shut the fuck up. But they didn't. Bill Burr went on Conan O'Brien and trashed the people that gave him all the money that he has now and says, fuck it, I don't care if your money comes from me anymore. You guys don't have money from me anymore, so fuck you guys, basically, is what Bill Burr did. And Dave Chappelle is a snake, and he's been a snake for a long time, and he's a liar. He wants you to think he's a cool guy, but he's not. He's a snake. And he's in the club. He wore the dress. And then he wore it again after he told the Oprah story about wearing a dress. Yeah, fuck them. Like, yeah, stop giving them money. Like, you don't have money, we don't have money, so hey, you're right, guys, we don't have money for you guys anymore. Stop giving them fucking money. And don't give a shit about them anymore, because you think Saudi Arabia is gonna give a fuck about those guys because they went over there? No, see you later, sayonara, assholes. They don't give a fuck about, oh, you know, the Saudis really love Dave Chappelle. I doubt it. They probably like Russell Peters telling Nola Rasmussen stories and talking about Hindu demons and whatever hell Russell Peters steals other people's good jokes or whatever. They probably like him better than they like Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr. Who was the toast at a Riyadh Comedy Festival? It wasn't Tom Segura. He took the fucking money and went home. You think Saudi Arabia gives a shit about Tom Segura's comedy? Tom Segura, the guy who said, I'd kill 10,000 white babies just to pinch the cheeks of a little Chinese baby. That was in Tom Segura's stand-up bit like 7 years ago. Asshole. So, yeah, part of killing America is killing American comedy. And you just got shanked in the gut under the ribs by Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr, and fuck those guys and keep giving them shit and just boot them. Make their next Netflix specials be like the worst Netflix specials. Make Fluffy's Gabriel Iglesias' comedy special. They probably love him in Saudi Arabia. He would say anything. So yeah, fuck them. I don't know what else to say. Like, that's how do I end the episode? Yeah. The hell with Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle. Look, I've just pointed it out to you. What more do I need to say about these two assholes? I didn't like them before. Now you can really not like them, because not only they spat back. It's like they took the dirty money, come home, hang your head, admit your guilt, give the money back, but no. They gave an attack. I don't think I could say the things in America I could say in Saudi Arabia after I signed away my rights to what I could ever talk about the whole rest of my life about comedy, because that was dictated by Saudi Arabia, and then went over to Saudi Arabia and shit on America. Maybe Saudi Arabia does like Dave Chappelle because he went over there and he shit on America for $1 million. And, you know, hey, look at me, I'm a monkey man, I'm like a stereotype of American guy. And what did Bill Burr do over there? They love him? Oh, hey, I love you guys. You have Starbucks and Taco Bell and Cheesecake Factory. They love my Cheesecake Factory. Fuck you. Fuck the guy. These are corporate franchise chain restaurants that go all over the world. That's not America. That's part of the thing that was wrong about America, was that we exported those fucking franchises across the world. That in Saudi Arabia, where they have slavery, you can go to fucking Burger King and McDonald's, and that's the Soylent. Everybody knows this. Didn't Japan sue McDonald's because there was too much percentage of human DNA in the hamburgers, and Japan as a nation said, we don't want McDonald's anymore, we don't want to eat people. Anyway, yeah, I should have just ended it when I said fuck them. So, I don't know. I don't want to talk about Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr anymore. That's for guys who monetize their channels, who put clips in and do videos better than I do. I just do sit down, stay home commentary, lifestyle vlogs, and I used to love comedy, and it sucks now. It's one of the things about America they want to phase out, because communism, Marxism, socialism has gone global, and you're not allowed to make fun of anything because you might say something that the people in charge might not like, and it might have people thinking. You want to turn their brains off and do jokes about, oh, he fell in a cow flop, and then it was a holy day, so he made a poo-poo papad, and he made a wrap out of cow dung, and he ate the shit, and that's Indian comedy. And throwing pregnant women in front of buses and raping people, that's in a funny way. That's global comedy now. Degradation of man. And religions like Islam, where it's okay to fuck children. That's Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr now. Put on a burqa. Put your woman in a hijab, otherwise they're gonna tear her to fucking pieces if they can see what she looks like. It went on too long. That's it. Fuck them.